Do you feel lonely? Before I actually start to explain what we're going to talk about in this video, like I want you to genuinely answer this question in your head. Do you feel a little bit lonely? Like you don't belong? Like that feeling when you look at every single person that's around you and you think to yourself, man, I'm not like them. I'm not. All these people, they're all up to all these like degenerate activities. I'm not like them. If you're experiencing this right now, I can guarantee you that in the next couple of minutes, what I'm gonna talk about can actually fucking revolutionize your life. I really hope that what we're gonna talk about today can actually give you a new perspective on the way things work. But before we get to all of that, right? Let's start with a story, as I always do. For the past couple of days, my mental health has been like shit. I'm just gonna be brutally honest here. I felt like ass for the past couple of days. And I didn't really know why. Like, I've had this shitty mindset throughout my life, and I didn't really know why. Like, the past, like, week or week and a half, I was, as I said, doing shit. I couldn't focus on any of my work. Every time I would try to sit down and record a video, man, all of these thoughts, they would always haunt me. They would randomly start haunting me. As I said, I didn't know why, right? Like, I still went to all of my practices. I went to the gym. I went on the fucking basketball practice. I went on my martial arts. I was still doing my YouTube. Nothing changed in my routine. Theoretically, nothing really changed in my routine. Everything was the exact same, but suddenly my mind was doing ass. Doing terribly. So I started to really get down to the root of this question. I really tried to get to the root of all of this. I tried to find the reason. Why do I feel the way I feel? And that's when I started to realize something. Out of most of the activities that I do, I'm talking about activities that take up the most time, right? So school, fucking work, all that stuff. Throughout most of these periods, I was not talking to fucking anybody. And I was convincing myself that I'm on self-improvement, monk mode. I shaved my head. I don't know if you can still see it because it kind of grew out a little bit, but hey, I'm on monk mode. I shaved my head, work every single day. But then when I would go to school and I would try to socialize with somebody, suddenly all of the social skills development that I've done over the past couple of months, gone. It was all thrown out the window because I was living this like solitary lifestyle, literally. My lifestyle was comparable to a guy who's on solitary confinement. And I'm being like dead ass serious right now. You know what solitary confinement is? To get fucking solitary confinement, you have to do a very bad fucking crime. And you have to go to jail, right? And you have to do another bad crime in jail. So they put you in a specific cell where you don't have to talk to anybody. And you wonder why these people go crazy? And then you wonder why you go crazy? Brother, most of our lifestyles, they're not that fucking different from motherfuckers who are solitary confinement. And I know what I'm saying sounds really crazy. But if you actually start to dial into this question, why you feel so lonely, and you compare that to the amount of people you actually talk to, suddenly it's like, whoa, isn't it? Listen, I'm going to describe to you what my daily routine used to look like over the past couple of weeks. I would wake up, go to school. I have like my work block for like 2 hours after I finish school. So right after I come back from school, I do my work, which is YouTube. Then I usually go to the gym and go to sleep. Wake up, school, work, gym, sleep. That was my routine for most of the days, right? Now, it wasn't just gym, it was other activities. It was basketball, martial arts, all of that stuff. All of the exercising stuff. I would always do it later down the day. And from school and exercise, right? These are like my most social activities that I do in my daily routine, right? Because at school, there's like a shit ton of kids my age. And, on gyms, it's very easy to talk to people. On martial arts club, it's usually pretty easy to talk to people. On basketball courts, it's mainly degenerates, right? But most of the time was spent here, which is at school. If you're on self-improvement, if you've been on self-improvement for quite some time, you would know how fucking difficult it becomes to talk to people because you just feel like you stand out. Like, you find it genuinely hard to speak to somebody who has fucking blue hair, blue lipstick, walks around with his vape all the time. it's hard for us to find anything relatable, isn't it? So when I'm in a class that's pretty much dominated by people like this, like it's pretty funny to me, right? Because my class at school consists of 32 people, and out of these 32 people, right, 20 of them are females. 20 girls and 12 guys. So it's like a female feminine dominant class. That's how I'll describe it. And yeah, you can kind of imagine what kind of freaks go to this class. Fucking green hair girls, blue hair, red hair. It felt like I was looking at a fucking crayons. It felt like I was looking at crayons when I would look at my class picture. Like I remember my class picture would look like fucking a pack of crayons because of the amount of like difference in hair colors that was there. But back on topic, right? I find it really hard to talk to these people. But then when I go on the basketball court, right? Today's Friday. So right after school, I started recording a little bit late. I'm recording this video right now. It's like in the evening. I was supposed to get it way earlier, but fuck. Why am I going off track? Okay. Right as I came back from school, right? I went immediately on the basketball court. I've spent the past 8 hours at school, right? Barely talking to anybody. I have maybe 2 people who I talk to at school. The rest are just thrown out the window. When I went on the basketball court, it's a little bit different, right? Because people there, we're all here for the same reason, which is basketball, right? We all have the same interest, but most of the people here, they're also fucking vapors. They're also into the exact same degenerate shit. So when we're on the court, it's fun, right? It's fun. I love playing with these guys. They're always funny. But as soon as we get to the locker room and all that basketball stuff is out of the window, now it's like I don't fucking know these people. So they quickly start talking about their little vapes and drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. And I think to myself, I don't belong here either. And the mistake that I was doing is I wasn't looking at the actual people. I was doing that at the activity that was connecting them. So when I was on the basketball court and, I felt so outcasted when I would go to the locker room and try to speak to these people, I thought to myself, nah, it's basketball's fault. Maybe I'm just not that good. That's why they didn't want to talk to me. The thing that you need to realize, you're right. You're not like these people. Yes. But they don't want to talk to you because of the basketball stuff. No. They want to talk. They don't want to talk to you because you're not like them. You don't do all the stuff they do. There's no correlation. There's no correlation between you two. So how do you expect there to be like a chance of you starting a conversation with these people? That's why I felt so fucking outcasted for the past couple of months. Because even though I was doing stuff that's theoretically social, I was still very unsocial. Matter of fact, the guy I trusted the most at the time was it was some geek from my school, right? That was like the only person I talked to. Not geek, respectfully a geeky, because like he's also into calisthenics, but he's like I don't want to be like disrespectful, but he's kind of a nerd, right? He's a little bit of a nerd. He studies a shit ton when it comes down to school. He's like really into studying. But I found like that correlation because we both know what it's like to work hard on our goals, right? Yeah, the reason why you feel so fucking outcasted is because these people are not like you. And you know this, right? So, of course, the obvious answer is to surround yourself with people who are more like you. But you know that when you're on self-improvement, it's very hard to find these people. And I'm telling you this from experience, right? I used to live a very social life. In all of these activities I just described, right? I was around so many people. But how many did I talk to? Close to 0, if I'm being honest with you. I really like this saying from my father. My father used to always say, I have a lot of friends, but I only have one friend. This was like the exact same thing that I was experiencing right now. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people who are like, I can hold a conversation with, but it isn't anything deep. I don't feel like I belong with these type of people. But then I only have maybe 2 or 3 people that are actually more like me, that I can actually like speak with value to. And honestly, this is why I love YouTube as a whole, because when I started a channel on self-improvement, right, there were barely any people at first. But the more I started to upload, the more I started to grow this place. And when I opened the Discord, right, man, Now that I had a group of people who are all like me, or at least similar, they all have like the same purpose and the same reasons, the same goals. This is like one of the best fucking motivators, man. Listen, we as human beings, we are tribal creatures. We're not meant to live like fucking lone wolves. This is one of the biggest pieces of bullshit self-improvement has ever taught you. Now, monk mode as a whole is an amazing thing, right? Sacrificing a certain period of time so that you can focus all in on your work. That's a very, very mature decision for you to make. But if I'm being honest with you, social skills are a major part of your self-improvement. The more you neglect them, the more you suffer in the long term. Especially when you're a teenager, by the way. When you're a teenager, when you're a growing up individual, and you condition yourself to be this like very anti-social guy, you're just gonna make it more difficult for yourself to actually be fucking social by the time you become like 20. Because you've been conditioning yourself to be like this lone wolf guy. Now that you become 20 years old or older, you're gonna find it very hard to speak to other people. Like, you're conditioning yourself to become an introvert. How do you expect to be good at holding conversations, to be good at meeting new people, when for the past couple of years you've been purposely conditioning yourself to being this like, oh, lone wolf? Well, deep down, you're just making yourself an introvert. We all want this feeling of social validation. We all want this like acceptance from other people. But we're all doing it the wrong way. Most of us, to get like validation from other people, we start fucking buying expensive sneakers. We start dressing in a certain way. We start to act in a certain way. But these things, like, these are only the outside things. You're becoming a wolf in a sheep's clothing. Yes, I said this on purpose for a reason. Instead of actually allowing this power that you have inside of it, because we all have a shit ton of power down there. What you're doing instead is just, you're trying to fit in. You're trying to fit in. This sounds so fucking cringe, but this analogy kind of like explains this very well. I just came up with it. I know it's going to sound really cringe, but wolves are supposed to hang out with the wolves, and sheep are meant to hang out with the sheep. If you're trying to be a fucking wolf, why are you putting on a sheep clothing on? I mean, does this make sense to you? Does this analogy that I gave make sense to you? Let me know in the comments, I guess, but that's just how shit works. We are social human beings. We're supposed to live in a group. Think of fucking cavemen. They always lived in a tribe together. They always lived in a tribe. If you were a single human being and you were stranded in the forest, man, all it took was one fucking tiger for you to be dead. But when there's fucking 10 of you, 20 of you in the forest, and suddenly a tiger jumps out, sure, one of the people might die, but all the other 19 are gonna fucking gang up on that tiger and fucking kill him. You know that being in a group makes any task 10 times easier. You know this. Fucking, do you remember back in school when you would have a group project and you would start like dividing tasks to each individual person? Yeah, now it was fucking easy. But then when it comes down to actually improving your whole life, now you want to say to yourself, oh yeah, I'm a lone wolf. There's no logic in this. You're literally purposely limiting yourself. You're limiting your potential just because it's hard to you. Just because it's hard for you to fit in with other people. Listen, now I'm not trying to sound like meeting new people is an easy thing. Sure, if you level up your social skills, it's going to become pretty easy to talk to new people, but finding people that actually share the same interest, especially when you're in a niche like self-improvement, especially when your hobbies are not playing Brawl Stars or Fortnite, when your goals are to improve your whole fucking life, it especially becomes difficult to live the life the way you want to find the people who propel you towards success. Of course it's difficult. But you're better off constantly trying to find these people than to accept being around the other guys. See, I'm a huge victim of this because going back to the story I talked about in the beginning, right? When I would when I was at my lowest point where I was not talking to anybody, I was so desperate for like social interactions that I started to talk with the guys from the basketball court I described. I started to talk with these people from the basketball court, and you know what they're all like. I'm gonna do this one more time just because it's so funny. Vapes, all that stuff, and as soon as I, as soon as they invited me to like play basketball outdoors with them, I quickly accepted it because fuck it, why not? I like playing on the court with these guys. But after we were done playing outdoors, and we were about to go home, and I started to see how these guys behave when basketball is not around, I quickly realized, like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? What the fuck am I actually doing? Listen, man, you don't want to surround yourself with the wrong people. Now, this is the one time where I actually prefer for you to be alone. You're better off being on your own than surrounding yourself with the wrong people, but that doesn't mean you should strive for loneliness. No. Of course not. You need to at least attempt to find the people the way you want to. There's no other way. You need to be constantly trying to find new people that are the way you are. As I just said beforehand, people who are more like you, they'll propel you towards success. It's easier to live in a group. It's easier to work together. We are strong together. So yeah, if you like the video, you can join my Discord server. Man, what a fucking plugger. Yeah, I hope you got the general message of this video. If you want to talk to me directly, then you can like actually join the Discord. Whatever, man. I'm sick of plugging in videos too. Okay, whatever. I'll see you in the next one.